This hangout on air is live. Hi. Yeah. We are back again, and this is going to be an interesting night. Not only because A, I am sick, but B, not only do we have Robbie. Hi, Robbie.
Hi.
We have the infamous and very mysterious Mr. Boris.
Hello.
You might know him as Salad Fingers. That's a whole conversation we won't get into right now.
I should wear the fingers.
Oh my god! No, you just need to no, you need to have the spoon. The spoon needs to be doing the whole chat here, right?
It's so weird.
Oh my god! Do you seriously have the spoon there?
I do.
I know, dude. Walking into his apartment, it's awesome. He has the Diedrich armor as soon as you walk in, and it's in on a mannequin.
Yeah.
Yeah. So sometimes you kind of feel like this thing's watching you.
That's beautiful.
Yeah, it's
That
awesome.
That's glorious and creepy. All right, he's off finding the spoon. Oh wait, no, there he is. The spoon is very important.
Yes.
Okay. All right. I don't know.
My power.
I don't know how many of you have watched previous episodes in this series. I would like to think that you have, especially those of you that have never been to Spooky Empire before, and I know there are a number of you. First episode, we went over the address and the venue. We went over the flyer and a quick view of the guest list so far. We went over hotel booking. We went over why you should try for a book for the whole weekend as opposed to just Saturday. Went over how to deal with lines. Very, very important. We touched on Thursday night. We touched on the zombie walk. And then episode 1, I suppose episode 2, I don't know how I'm doing the episodes. Episode 1, we talked more about the zombie walk, parking and the parking rates. We talked about spooky TV. I'm so happy that's coming back. We talked about why you should actually buy a weekend ticket as opposed to just freeloading, which is something else we'll get into tonight. Volunteering. We talked about tipping the staff and ATMs. We talked about what's around the hotel, the cabs and the pedicabs. That's what they're called.
Pedicabs?
Yeah, I thought they were rickshaws.
Right. We had that discussion.
Yeah. Well, one of my friends apparently watches this, and he's in New York. He's never been to Spooky, and he watches this in New York, and he said he was screaming at the screen. So I turned on the Q&A app. I think I turned it on. Okay. Ask your audience to submit questions, and they will appear below. So if you are watching this live and you do have a question, I guess there's a way to type it in. I'm not sure how the app works. So
is it the group chat part?
It's something like that. It says ask your audience to submit questions, and they will appear below. So I guess there's something if you're watching the event. Okay. So we'll see how and if that works. And then there was the cabs and pedicabs, and then of course we got into basic hygiene, which was a very animated but very, very important discussion.
Yes.
Oh God! So please, if you haven't watched the past couple of episodes, please do so. Very, very important. The first thing I want to get into this time around is if you are sick, because I am currently sick and have been sick all day. Whatever. First, if you are sick, please don't go to the con. It's not worth it. You're going to make everybody mad. You are going to end up with a lynch mob after you before the weekend is out. And there are going to be other spookies. This is Florida. There's a convention literally every weekend. We're I don't think, is there any other state that has as many conventions as Florida?
Probably not.
I don't know. I don't think so. But I do know that in the Midwest there's a lot of conventions also.
Okay.
I don't know. And I would imagine that some conventions that do tours, perhaps. Like Walker Stalker. I know it's and it's a couple.
That's a good point. Wizard World, etc. That's a good point.
Yeah.
Okay, but if you are sick now, what I would suggest is about 2 weeks to a week before the con. There's a number of things, and I swear by this stuff. And I know there was a class action suit against them. Airborne.
Yeah.
I don't know if you want to basically what you want to do is load up on vitamins, and you want to boost your immune system a week or two before. Now, why do you want to do that? Because A, you're going to be around a lot of people in a crowd. B, you're going to be walking, especially in this hotel. You're going to be walking a lot. You are definitely going to be in contact with those that are less sanitary than you. That's a nice way to put it, I guess. But you definitely want to boost your immune system. I prefer airborne. These are just like caplets you drop in water and drink daily. Whether you want to take extra multivitamins or, vitamin C, boost up on your C. I mean, what do you guys do like a couple weeks before the con to boost your immune system?
Well, the airborne thing's a good idea. I like dropping it into orange juice or grapefruit juice and kind of doubling up on that and just load.
It is citrus flavored. So.
Airborne in orange juice?
Yeah. It takes a bit longer too.
It already has like 1,500 cc.
Yeah, I know. But it really does help, and it makes it taste better actually because it kind of like hides it more. Yeah. So it doesn't taste like crap.
I don't think you can overboost your immune system, especially when it comes to spooky.
Yeah, and water. Water is so important.
Yeah, definitely hydrate.
During.
No, go ahead, Robbie.
Oh no, yeah, absolutely. That water is pivotal for sure.
Yeah, because you definitely want to hydrate, and I mean, not only boosting your immune system, but you definitely want to drink a lot of water because you're going to be partying all weekend. Spooky is a party con. It's probably one of the hardest partying. Yeah. It is one of the hardest partying cons I've ever been to, and I'd say on par with Dragon Con. So you definitely want to hydrate and that's the whole thing. The more you hydrate, the healthier you will stay because you're flushing toxins out of your system. So. Especially
if you're gonna wear costumes.
Oh yeah.
Yes. Yes. But whether it's you bulk up on vitamin C, you can use airborne, you can use zinc, if that works for you. And a lot of people swear by echinacea. And you also definitely want to get your sleep before the con, because if you go the last couple weeks stressing over the costume, stressing over plans, blah blah blah, you're just going to make yourself sick. And like I said, you want to boost your immune system to make sure you make it through the con and don't end up sick.
Yeah, especially also with this con in October. October is such a busy month for a lot of people for other things. There's so much going on in Orlando, especially. Now you have to keep in mind that that's the tail end of October. You're gonna be already kind of maybe tired from other things, doing things, getting shit ready. So definitely.
Yeah. And also like I said, okay, if you go to Bath and Body Works, and I know it's a girly thing, but they have hand sanitizers, and they always have them in October flavors. These things are like $3 for $1. And they're amazing, and I carry these all over the place. Just hand sanitizer. I'm telling you, this stuff is super, super important. Not just at a con, but even before a con. Like I said, just make sure you're keeping yourself healthy.
Candy corn.
Oh yeah, dude.
Nice.
Total candy corn, man. And it actually smells like candy corn, which is really weird. But I've got like apple cider and a couple others. But they have like all sorts of different flavors, and so they smell amazing. And it's so much better than Purell. So which Purell is great, but I mean October I like to have very nicely smelling stuff.
Well,
it's the season.
I always bring that stuff, but I forget to use it.
Yeah, and that's one of the reasons we go over even the basics, just because. Wait, am I getting an echo?
No.
Oh, okay. Maybe it's just me. But yeah, and there's a lot of things that you pack and then you'll forget to use, but that's why we try to remind you to make sure you at least pack them, so maybe when you see it, when you unpack, oh yeah, so. But you definitely, and this is something you definitely want to keep up throughout the con, because that's going to be one of the things that keeps away con crud. And I mean, how many times have you guys gotten con crud after the con?
A lot.
All right,
but it's okay because it's after the con.
It is, but it still sucks actually being sick after the con, and sure you prefer it after the con, but it still sucks.
Yeah, I don't know about like legit con crud, but I do get exhaustion from usually when I volunteer for sure. I'm exhausted. I mean, I can sleep for 2 days afterwards.
Oh yeah, same here.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've never gotten super sick. Just tired.
Yeah. Well, what do you suggest to other than hand sanitizer and hydrating, which are probably the two most important things you can do during a con to keep from being.
Condoms also. Just saying. I'm saying.
That's another kind of sick.
Contract.
Yeah. That's a whole nother kind of con cred.
But it is, but it's possible because people over there are usually so free, and people are meeting people, and you know what I'm talking about. It's important.
Oh yeah.
It's
No,
important.
it is important. It is important. You're right. And that's something we're going to be dedicating a whole section to that at some point. Cause y'all are nasty. Y'all are some nasty, nasty people.
But I didn't say that.
Not you, them.
Oh
Not
yeah.
But yeah, hydration, keeping hand sanitizer on you. I don't know how many of you watch Foamy the Squirrel. I don't know. I guess I don't know if Foamy's really relevant anymore. It's kind of foul-mouthed animated squirrel.
Like the squeaky voice squirrel?
Yeah, him.
Yeah, I
Like
didn't know his name was Foamy.
illwillpress.com.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Anyway,
yeah.
He did this whole thing on con rules to like keep from getting sick at a convention and stuff. And basically, and you may hear this all over the place, but I'd like to hear 6-2-1. Remember those 3 numbers: 6 hours of sleep a night, 2 solid meals a day, and no chips and beer do not count as a meal, and at least 1 shower. You do those 3 things. If you stick to that every day, you very, very likely, I think you have at least 85% chance of not getting sick.
Awesome. That's a good one. I've never heard that one before.
Yeah, there's a number of different variations for it.
Yeah, but that's definitely a good rule. Even though the getting 6 hours of sleep is kind of difficult for some.
It's very difficult. Very difficult.
Yeah. If you stay up
Especially
late
at
and then you wake up early.
I think, honestly, the most I've ever gotten have ever been 4.5 to 5 hours. Most.
Yeah. And it's tough because that breaks down your immune system. So, I mean, that's the whole thing is trying to keep your immune system up. I mean, the good thing about Spooky is unless there's a panel or something you want to see right at 10 a.m., you can kind of sleep in for a while because most things don't actually get going until, I don't know, around noon or 1, I'd like to say. Like I said, but that depends on the schedule.
Yeah, and volunteering also, that's usually...
That's true.
Yeah, you're up sometimes your shift starts at 8:30.
Yeah, that's also true.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right, but there's the whole 6-2-1 rule. Like I said, 6 hours of sleep, 2 meals a day, and 1 shower.
And then I always bring snacks too.
Oh yeah. So what kind of snacks do you always bring, Boris?
I try to bring. I try to bring some fruits like bananas and apples, but I also bring like a few protein bars to keep on me in case I skip a meal or something.
Protein's important. Protein's very important. Which could, we could go with the whole condom thing again, but that's. Anyway, yes, you were saying snacks.
Yes.
Okay. All right, and then. What?
Are you gonna have? I'm sorry. Are you gonna have like a subtopic on food and what to bring and that sort of thing, or?
Oh yeah. Well, I mean, we can go over that because we're gonna be going over budget tips in a little bit. So I mean, you can include that as well.
Yeah,
I mean, bringing your own food. Yeah. So, there's only a couple things I wanted to cover before we got to that. Sure. For those of you that are on the Facebook event page or even Facebook Spooky page, I did post a link to a map. Because the last time we talked about what was around the hotel and wasn't really sure of what was where. Let me hit up this screen share so you guys can actually see. All right, here we go, share. Yeah. All right. Okay, is that showing up?
Yeah.
Okay. I can't zoom in anymore, but if you go to the Facebook event page or even Spooky's page, anywhere, Google Plus, whatever. This is all over the place. Like I said, Spooky is right around here. You see, right in red letters says Spooky Empire. This is all International Drive down this way. Those of you who remember the Wyndham, there's a Wawa, and John was telling us last time that don't use the ATMs at the hotel. Stop at a Wawa beforehand. This is the closest Wawa, and it's right where the Wyndham is, so that's like, it's like Sand Lake and Kirkman, or run around Kirkman, somewhere around there. But right where the Wyndham is, there's that Wawa. If you go down this way, and like I said, I kind of zoomed in so you can see Point Orlando, and there's all sorts of options of where to eat.
Mm-hmm.
I prefer Ming Court. I love Ming Court, and I love Cuba Libre, but that also depends on, your finances. But this also gives you an idea of, how to plan as far as if you want a meal outside and how much you're going to spend and all that. And Rob actually told me to point this out. Over here, Yeah, the liquor store.
There's a liquor store.
There is.
We don't know the name of it, but apparently it's right over here, so some of you may need to know that before you hit the con. I don't know if they jack up the prices at this particular one.
I mean,
Isn't 528 that street right, that exit where you get off where you're right in front of SeaWorld?
Yes.
Okay, yeah, there's a liquor store there. Yeah, there's a Subway also there, and there used to be a Bennigan's, but they closed it.
Oh, yeah. No, I did remember they closed the Bennigan's.
Yeah.
But, yeah, and then I blew up that area as well, so you can actually see all the restaurants, where the McDonald's is that Robbie was talking about last time. There's the Denny's over there, there's the IHOP, and also she was bringing up the Walgreens. The Walgreens is also over here.
Okay.
So I'd say it might take a little bit to figure out what's where, but like I said, the map is on the event page. It's on Spooky's page. It's all over the place.
Yeah,
So,
yeah, there's a ton of good places over there.
Mm-hmm.
yeah, but they're not necessarily within walking distance.
Yeah.
Well, if you like to walk.
Yeah.
Yeah, if you like to walk, it depends if you're in costume or not.
I like to walk.
Yeah, so you like to walk. A lot of people don't.
Oh, yeah.
I walk in costume.
I know you do.
I did like 32-mile walks back and forth in my costume last time.
You're so bizarre.
It's all part of the fun.
It's all part of the mystery.
Yes.
But there's the map that we were talking about, and let's see, what else did I have on here?
Really, you should hit up the liquor store and the ATM before you even leave, like to go to Orlando if you don't live in Orlando.
And that's very true, because they do jack up the prices.
Yeah.
Oh, no, absolutely, yeah. I mean, I'm a planner, so I prepare for things like that, so I make sure that I go grocery shopping, that I do liquor store, and, I have a list, and, but it just depends how dedicated you are.
Exactly. And, but most people, they do, because a lot of them are local and they'll do shopping beforehand. But, if you need something, right before you get to the hotel, you have that map so you can figure it out.
Also, if you have friends that are on their way there, that are already out, send one person on a run to do something. Don't.
That's very smart.
Everybody go in a group, or somebody's already out and coming in. For food, especially pizza, Chick-fil-A, whatever you want. They might stop on the way in.
That's actually a very good point. That's something that use the buddy system. That kind of works.
Yeah, it works.
Buddy.
Well, I mean, if you're going to be picking up alcohol and stuff, that works. I'm totally getting, echo in this.
You sound fine.
All right. So, all right. I had a few people ask me about the poker tournament this year. Apparently, unfortunately, Spooky is not having a poker tournament.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, there will be no poker tournament. They have all sorts of other stuff planned, but the one thing that they also have, and they just announced this, and the reason I wanted to bring it up is because I'm actually thinking about bringing back Willie Munster for this. Let me do this screen share again. For those of you that aren't on the Facebook page, the Munsters Museum, because Butch Patrick is going to be there as Eddie.
Oh, cool.
I'm excited about that. I'm really stoked about that. Seriously. Yeah.
So apparently, I don't know if this is Butch Patrick's museum, because I know he's got memorabilia and stuff, or if it's a collection, kind of like Mucklebones.
Oh, okay.
I don't know. I don't know necessarily who it's from, but they are going to have Dragula, obviously, and some of the cars from the show. And I don't know anything about this, but I figured it was something interesting to bring up, considering that they just announced this like a day or two ago.
Nice.
That's so awesome. I'm so excited about that.
Yeah, I'm getting better about the screen share. Okay. Oops. My screen's all over the place. So there is also that. Now, the hotel rooms. I did a little research because when I was there, I didn't get a chance to see the hotel rooms. But I know a lot of people were concerned. Yes, they do have mini fridges. One of the cool things about the hotel rooms is apparently they have incredibly legendary, very fluffy pillows.
Nice.
So that'll help, with us trying to sleep and stuff. There is automatic lighting underneath the beds, so apparently we're getting fancy here.
That's awesome.
Yeah,
it's just what I need.
What that is for? Is that to make sure Boris isn't underneath?
Every time I'm under the bed, I'm like, why aren't there lights down here?
But yeah, they do. They have like sensors. They have light sensors, so like when you walk by the bed, it lights up. There is a video I watched because there is a review on YouTube. I did the research, and Mark Baskin is his name. If you look up a guy named Mark, Baskin, like Baskin Robbins, if you look up Mark Baskin, I think it's like Hyatt Regency Orlando review. Look it up on YouTube. He does a quick 5-minute thing around the room and reviews everything. One of the things that's really, really cool about this room is there is a TV in the mirror.
Oh, I think I've seen that before.
Yeah, that's apparently the big thing everyone goes nuts about, because apparently there's a bathroom mirror, but you put the remote and there's a TV in the mirror.
Oh, in the bathroom.
Yeah, so...
I thought it like in the living room.
Yeah, the video I saw was in the bathroom. I'm sure there's like different types of rooms.
Cool.
So, I mean, maybe that could be it, but it looked really, really cool.
Well, I guess when you're there to spend for like the weekend for a con, like I don't know if you have enough time to really enjoy those amenities,
Yeah.
In the bathroom, I don't need the mirror to put my makeup on and that sort of thing. I don't have time to really like sit.
Oh, of course. But especially, well, I mean, this will work especially for like spooky TV.
Oh yeah, true.
Since they're doing spooky TV, I mean, how cool would be watch spooky TV while you're
sitting on the throne.
Yeah. I know. I was just gonna taking a shit, but I'm like, well, okay, fine, taking a shit.
Yeah, taking a shit. Yeah, totally.
Yeah. While you're watching interviews from last year's.
Put your phone down and watch the TV while you're taking a shit.
It's perfect.
Or even while you're like getting ready in your costume or whatever, it's interesting, something good to have, or if you get sick or whatever. They apparently serve Starbucks coffee in the coffee bar as well as complimentary Starbucks coffee in the room. That's one of the reviews I read.
Cool.
And apparently they say, and I don't know how much truth there is to this, someone said my favorite part was the complimentary bottle of water each day. If that's true, then that's awesome. That was on one review. I didn't see it anywhere else. So, but that's something to keep in mind. But the review, like I said, if you look up Mark Baskin, Hyatt Regency review or whatever on YouTube, you'll see the room. It's very nice. Actually, it's going to be, I don't know if it's really party worthy, but that's another conversation. The Wi-Fi. We were talking about Wi-Fi last time. According to the site, it says, our Orlando hotel with internet access. Staying connected at Hyatt Regency Orlando is easy with their complimentary wireless internet options. Wired and wireless internet access is available through, just a second, throughout the hotel at no charge to the guest. I'm assuming they have different Wi-Fi in the convention space than they do in the rooms. That's normally how it works. Rob said that when we were doing the walkthrough, he said he was using the Wi-Fi and having no problems. The organizers said that they were going to be staying there like within the next week, and they were going to let me know how the Wi-Fi was working during their trip. So we'll get something updated in the next few days. But from what it looks like, hotel guests do get Wi-Fi. So that, like I said, that's just for the hotel guests. Cool. I'm sure they get preferred treatment as opposed to just public convention space. I don't know how to be in a convention space because it is really massive.
How's the phone reception over there?
That's what I'm going to find out in the next couple days. I mean, I had no problem when I was there, but I mean, there also wasn't like 800 other people trying to use it as well. So
yeah.
So I'm going to do a little more research, but there is, if you're staying at the hotel, that you do get free Wi-Fi. So that's freeloaders. Haha, screw you.
Free Wi-Fi should be everywhere. Honestly, they should just make a thing.
Okay. One of the things that I also talked to the organizers about, as far as the pool party, they said that if you guys want to go out to the hotel pool party and have a pool party, Spooky's not going to be held liable because we have so much convention space this year. All the parties that they're going to be doing are going to be held indoors. They're looking to get a larger scale type, Dragon Con type of parties. Where you kind of have to like have admission, and they want to cut down on the freeloaders, which obviously understandable, and especially at a hotel like this. So you have to either be a spooky attendee or a hotel guest to get into these parties. If you want to go to the pool, that's going to be your thing, and Spooky's not necessarily going to be liable. And hang on, I lost my place here.
Yeah, I think. I mean, people, because they want to smoke mostly when they're partying, is why the outdoor space is attractive.
It is attractive, and especially that time of year. It's Halloween. It's cooler.
Mm-hmm.
But there's also going to be other hotel guests. We don't have the hotel booked to ourselves, so it's not just going to be just us.
Right.
So we do still have to adhere to certain laws and guidelines, and Spooky Crowd isn't necessarily very geared for that sort of thing. Let's see. Blah, 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 da, 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 da. Yeah, and that's the whole thing. I mean, and the good thing about having the parties indoors, you don't have to worry about the weather. You don't have to worry about sound ordinances. So, I mean, we don't have to worry about being shut down at 11 if we're partying at the pool, because we don't know how stringent the hotel is going to be. We don't have to worry about other guests complaining if we have our own space. So those are things that you want to keep in mind. Like I said, we're not going to have complete run of the hotel until they start selling out the entire hotel. Right now we've got our own space. So let's see. And they also said they're looking to plan some great things on Thursday evening as well. So Thursday evening isn't just going to be, the locals coming out to hang out. There are going to be some spooky sanctioned activities as well. No details on that yet.
Take advantage of it.
Do what?
Might as well take advantage of the time.
Oh yeah. I mean, if you're going to have the spooky regulars out there.
For sure.
Yeah, I think it'd be nice to have a couple of bands, do something Thursday night. That would be really cool.
That would be cool.
Boris?
Well, I only have my room from Friday, so I don't know. I'll have to figure that out. But I'm staying till Monday.
Okay, cool.
Oh, lucky you.
Yeah. So I might change that and stay from Thursday till Sunday instead.
Okay, apparently. Oh, okay. That's pretty funny. We're talking about Mike earlier, and apparently he just asked a question and just said hello. Okay, I don't know why you're not joining us, Mike.
Can you send
I invited
him an
you. I can try to.
He had sent a message on the Facebook Messenger about it, asking how to get in. I said just to.
I thought I invited him. Yeah. Let me try this again. Hang on. Okay. All right. I just sent him an invitation. So, all right. Let's see how that works. Yeah. I sent him an invite, so he should be able to join us. But yeah. So I mean, but the thing is with the hotel is there are so many different areas that you can coordinate your own private parties somewhere. Just know that Spooky isn't going to be held liable. They want to try to keep everybody in the area that we have sanctioned. So as far as you freeloaders, there you go. Don't be showing up for a free pool party, because this ain't that kind of party.
No, so they're gonna be checking wristbands and stuff at the pool.
Yes, exactly. They're going to be increasing security and checking wristbands, so it isn't going to be like it was at the DoubleTree.
Kind of like it was at where was it at the? Was that the Hilton where they had the separate pool party?
It might have been. I get my hotels confused.
I think it might have been the Hilton.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which is pretty much what I figured. I figured this was going to be very much like the Hilton, because this is an upscale hotel. So, catering to a Budweiser crowd. So this is going to be very interesting. Okay. Oh. All right. Let's see. No, he's going to do something weird.
Oh my God!
Oh, good. Yeah. Yeah, no, we're not going to be letting any furries in, so...
Aw, shucks.
Yeah, no yiffing, sorry.
No yiffing.
Okay.
Ready?
No, it's like an app where you can put things on your head.
See, this is what I mean. Look at these people.
Come here, baby. Look. Go check it out.
Weirdos. Okay, I suppose this brings us to our next topic. There you go. Budget tips. Budget tips from Bozo here. Okay. What would you guys say have been the biggest budget tips that have saved you over the past few years?
Definitely buying your alcohol and your water and your snacks and as much food as you can possibly bring with you from the outside.
Now, as far as like what kind of food do you suggest people actually bring to have in the room?
Well, I usually bring Coke. How do I get rid of it now?
Cocaina. What?
Cocaina.
Well, she got the clown thing going.
I know that. Cold cuts and bread and stuff to make sandwiches. How do I get rid of it now, Boris?
Click on it again. Oh, click on the ones that you have selected to unselect them.
Hold on a second.
Freaking amateurs, I swear.
I'm gonna try to figure this out right now.
Oh, there's a remove all effects thing at the bottom.
Okay, there it is.
You're gonna stay a devil clown for the rest.
Oh my god.
I thought you were gonna turn the effects off.
Oh, dang.
Oh.
Oh no, you didn't.
Burn.
Wait, I'm like flipped around or something. That's weird. Okay.
Yeah. So food.
Sorry.
What kind of food you suggest people bring?
Well, Boris has said earlier, fruits, nuts are really good to have kind of just as a snack. Protein bars. Depending on what kind of budget you're on, like my thing is always breakfast because sometimes you end up eating lunch or dinner out, but breakfast is always it's important to have something in your stomach, and it's not easy to find. So
yeah, don't skip breakfast.
Yeah, Pop-Tarts, whatever. I mean, whatever you can manage to, because obviously we don't have microwaves, so.
They might.
They don't have them in the room.
No.
No, yeah, she said mini fridge, but.
Yeah, we get mini fridges, but we don't have microwaves in the room. Okay. So.
At least we got fridges.
Yeah, no, which is good. I mean, like she said, I mean, I absolutely heavily advocate fruit, especially bananas.
Yeah.
Let's say, I mean, that sort of stuff is really good, especially as hangover food. I also suggest beef jerky or jerky of some sort because the salt like really soaks up the alcohol, and then you get the protein as well.
Yep.
So I definitely recommend jerky, fruit, applesauce, or yogurt.
Crackers.
Crackers.
Yeah. But I mean, everything from your water to, I last few times I bought a rolling cooler and I had it full I had hummus in there and just, things that, majority of the time all we did was really just have dinner out because, the rest of the meals were kind of covered with sandwiches and that kind of thing. Yeah. And beer, loads of beer.
and Jello shots.
And Jello shots.
Oh God, Jello shots.
Jello and yeah.
Hey, Mike's here.
Oh, there he is. Let's see if
he was.
Oh, maybe.
Flipped it. No, it's when I was like over here.
All right. Well, Boris, I mean, as far as food, I mean, what do you pack normally?
Well, actually, that weekend I usually go all out. Like that's the weekend I actually go out for breakfast.
Oh, okay.
But I bring like food for in between lunch, dinner, and breakfast, like snacks, and usually I don't get to do lunch, so I bring like something for lunch. Last time I raided Robbie's cooler for some sandwiches.
Yeah, totally. I mean, I brought a case of water. I brought two cases.
Yeah, definitely bring water.
Yeah, definitely bring water because I mean, you can refill the water bottles.
Exactly. Yeah, so you don't need to bring like a whole giant like crate of water, but enough.
Yeah, and also it doubles as like if you have a mixer or something. I ended up putting my wine in my water bottle and putting the lid on it because I can carry it.
Yeah, that's the other thing. Because they probably don't allow glass by the pool, so make sure if you bring beer, bring cans.
Oh, did I hear Mike? Oh, there he is.
He is.
He's kind of creeping up, he looks like Pazuzu there or something. like Captain Howdy.
Oh, he's gone again.
Yeah, so that's Mike. Who's okay? Oh, I'm looking at his broadcast, and I think that's all right. You know, I'm gonna have to.
I can hear him, but
Just $4.69 months with zero down payment, and your first month payment is
you muted him.
Okay. Trying to figure out how to mute him.
if your mattress is over 8 years old, you may experience
Oh, there he
Mike,
is.
yeah, Mike, we can see you and we can hear the TV in the background. Is there any way you could turn the TV down or something?
joy. Meet Robbie's emotions in Disney Pixar's movie Inside Out.
Maybe.
Plus, and mattress for steady emotions.
Possibly. Okay, that's a little better, I guess. I'm trying to figure. Oh wait. Here we go. Hold on a second. Right. All right. I just muted him for a minute there, just until he figures it out. Okay. Let's see. As far as other budget tips, I also recommend when you make your budget beforehand, your particular amount for, especially if you're going to buy stuff in the dealer's room, or if you're going to, go out to dinner, stuff like that. Make a budget and then take that amount. And I gave this tip in a previous broadcast. If you put it in an envelope and label it, and this way you stick to your budget, and you're very more than likely not to go over. Actually, let me see if let me unmute Mike now and see how. Maybe trying to unmute. I'm trying to. All right. Well, if you guys got other budget tips that have saved you, then go ahead and jump in here while I try to figure this out. Oops. Trying to figure out. Wait. Got radio silence.
Hello.
Okay. Okay. Yeah, but also, like we said, when it comes to tipping the staff, for example, you want to set stuff aside for that.
Yep.
And like they mentioned, if you get a chance to shop not in the tourist area, buy your stuff closer to home. Oh,
Hello?
Wow, we got
Sorry.
two Robbies.
Oh, that's weird. How did that happen?
totally Inception here. All
He
right.
probably disconnected and reconnected.
Yeah.
All right. All right. Mike, I can't figure out how to unmute you, so I'm just gonna kick you out and invite you back in and see what that does. All right, let me try it this way.
Oh, when you were saying about budget tips,
Yes.
I know this is kind of random, but one time I forgot hairspray. All right, and it was a last minute hairspray emergency, and I had to go down to the gift shop, and I bought a 2-ounce bottle for $8.
Okay.
So maybe make sure that this list thing is important, and you go through your list of the things that you need, so you have them at the hotel, so you don't forget something really simple that usually costs $3-4 that you're now doubling on.
Yeah, I have 2 lists that I go through twice.
Yes.
Yeah, a few days in advance too. And then I lay it all out before I pack it to leave.
Together?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah. As far as I was hoping Mike would come back in because Mike's got really, really good budget tips, and he's okay. I don't know what he's doing. All right. When he comes in, I know. It's so organized here. But yeah, those are the biggest budget tips I can think of off the top of my head. And especially if you were going to use cabs to go anywhere, split with a friend. It's always so much easier.
Yeah.
Even if the pedicab stuff like that, obviously, you go with, look for someone else that's going in the same direction. You're spending, 50% of what you normally would.
Mm-hmm.
So, or if you want to be like Boris, just walk everywhere.
Yep. You get your
Rock hard
exercise.
legs.
Then you can eat whatever you want.
If you don't mind walking a couple, at least a mile each way, then you know what, and the weather's not going to be bad, so
Yeah,
if that
exactly.
works
It's
for you.
October.
Yeah, end of October at that, so
Yeah, it's true. It's probably going to be chilly at night.
yeah, it probably will be, well, for Florida anyway.
I don't know about chilly now. You're getting a little excited. Relax.
I'm going to wear my robe, so I'll be good.
Yeah.
Okay, and then the other thing I wanted to bring up was Celebrity etiquette. I'm like, basically, this is more of like how not to be a douche.
We should do a whole episode on how not to be a douche from the beginning to the end.
Well, we can, like I said, we can start talking about it now in different aspects of like douchery and like I said, just
Douchebaggery?
well, for example, just douchebaggery, yeah.
Are you terminated?
What?
Boris has a red eye.
Oh, does he?
Yeah.
He's giving himself a makeover there. Okay, but well, like the first rule, douchebaggery, is don't trash the hotel. I mean, this is somewhere there that Spooky would like to make their permanent home. This is a really, really nice place, and it's a huge convention area, and they have a lot of amazing amenities, and we're really lucky to get this place. So there's a lot of atriums where you can look over and people watch. Don't drop stuff off of it. Don't be a douche and not tip the staff. Especially if in the rooms you're going to be making messes. If you're going to leave that much of a mess, you make sure you tip the housekeeping staff well, or at least clean it up yourself. Especially if you're vomiting.
Yes.
Blood on the sheets, stuff like that. Don't be a douche. Don't be running around the halls at like 3 o'clock in the morning, screaming at the top of your lungs. This is not the hotel.
Punching the fire extinguisher thing.
Yes, pushing the fire. Oh my God! In the elevators, don't be pushing the fire alarm.
Yeah,
because it's funny.
Don't be jumping up and down in the elevators.
We'll get thrown out for that. Yeah, so it's we shouldn't have to say this, but it should be very common sense knowledge that don't drop stuff off the balconies. Don't be throwing stuff out the windows. Don't be like hanging your bare ass over the edge. Don't. This is not the place to do that. Keep it in your room.
On the window.
Yeah.
Window.
Yeah, you can do it up against the window. That's not a problem, but
all right. Excellent.
So.
Oh my God, Boris.
Boris is having way too much fun with this.
Yeah, I know. This is awesome.
Okay. Try inviting Mike one more time. See if that works. While Boris is having fun with his hats over there.
Robbie's getting a picture of me while I'm.
God, weirdos. But yeah, that's number one. Don't be a douche to the staff, and don't trash the property. Treat the property with respect. Oh my God, are you seriously?
All right.
Y'all are drunk. Oh my God.
It's Boris.
It is Boris.
Yeah.
But as far as the guests, and I've seen this happen too many times, unfortunately, where I've been very fortunate that I've been on the other side, and these guys have too, because they've been volunteers, where they sit with these guests and get a perspective from what it's like to be them. Try to remember that they're people too. Try to treat them like another human being. Don't walk up and try to, oh, well, why aren't you signing for free? Or, start demanding stuff because, oh, well, I'm a fan, I deserve your attention and time, blah, blah, blah. Try to remember they're people.
Yeah.
Too many people don't do that. They walk up and just, like, demand stuff. I've seen people walk up and shove something in front of their face, and when someone says, let's say, $20, oh, well, that's a rip-off, blah, blah, blah. You know what? Don't do that.
Mm-hmm.
Don't go there if you're gonna expect it to not, for them not to be charging, because that's the point of them being there, is for them to,
they're there to make money.
They're gonna make money no matter what.
Yeah.
So
sure, they're there to meet their fans, but they are there to make money. This is a business for them. They're not doing this for free.
Or you can't afford it, then don't expect to meet them, or don't be a douchebag. Yeah.
Now, here's the thing, and I'm sure these guys will agree with me on this. You are welcome to go up and say hello. You're welcome to go up and shake their hand. They don't take pictures for free 9 times out of 10. So please don't expect it. Don't go up with an entitled attitude. Don't. And if you want to just go up and say hi when there's no one at the table, or take up very little of their time, because I'm sure there's people waiting behind you that are willing to pay. So. And you know, this shouldn't be said, but I see it happen every single year. And like I said, I'm sure you guys have horror stories that you've seen from people that command at least a half an hour of someone's time, when it comes to dealing with some of the celebrities.
Yeah. Then you also have the celebrities that like to take they like to talk and they like to chat, and
yeah.
You kind of have to also keep that in mind, especially as a volunteer. When you're volunteering, you're working with these celebrities, you kind of have to keep the line moving. You can't spend 20 minutes talking to Robert Englund, unfortunately, even though he'd like to.
Yeah, and he's a talker. He's a sweet guy.
Yeah. So just keep that in mind too.
Yeah. Forrest, you look like you were going to say something.
No, so, like, what are we talking about now? Like,
just celebrity etiquette, like
at the table? At the table, or if you see them, like, around?
You know what, yeah, then go ahead, talk about, like, when they're not at the table.
I was just going to say, like, treat them as people when they're... treat them as people anywhere. So if you see them, like, eating breakfast at the restaurant, don't come over and bug them.
Yeah. That happens all too often too.
Yeah, I see it all the time.
There's a story I like to tell, because I saw this the first Mayhem. Actually, I was waiting in line for Bruce Campbell, and one of the other guests was Sean Patrick Flannery, and he had happened to walk by the line, and someone tried to get his attention. Sean Patrick Flannery went into the bathroom. Some guy literally grabbed his phone, went into the bathroom to take a picture with Sean Patrick Flannery while he was trying to take a piss.
Yeah.
And then he couldn't understand why the guy. I mean, he got all mad when the guy didn't want to take a picture with him. Really, guys? I mean, think for a second. Seriously, don't be that guy. I understand a lot of people, they want to try to save a buck, and I understand that. And it depends on who the celebrity is. Sometimes, like if they're out at the pool party or whatever party, or if they're not behind their table, sometimes they'll be nice enough and take a picture. If you're going to ask, be polite about it, and that's what a lot of people tend to forget.
Just got to use common sense.
Yeah. Yeah, which a lot of people don't have, unfortunately.
No, and they don't, and so it sucks that this has to be said, but...
Yeah, keep the fangirl boy inside.
Yeah, because they're still human. I mean, they're prone to moods and emotions, and just like you, some of them may have social anxiety, just like we do. I mean, you don't know. So try to keep that in mind, and feel free to ask them whatever you're going to ask them and stuff. But try not to take up like 20 minutes of their time, or the John Aston story I have, where the guy in front of me. Oh yeah, no, I think Boris remembers this. When you bring up like 10 things for them to sign. Don't do that. Don't be the guy that brings up like a whole bag of stuff for somebody to sign, because that's just, what the hell's wrong with you? Yeah, we see you, Boris. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. But as far as celebrities, usually the best route to take is you walk up, you introduce yourself. I found if you want to ask them something, don't ask them the same thing that you can find on Google. A lot of them get tired of answering the same stupid questions over and over and over. One of the examples I like to give is, and this wasn't at Spooky, this was actually at the Enzian Theater. And if he's watching this, I was at Crispin Glover, and someone I know from Spooky happened to be there from the audience, in the audience. Crispin Glover was doing his International Film Festival thing, and he was showing his film, and he talked, a little bit beforehand, and he had said, before he did his Q&A, he's like, okay, I did Back to the Future when I was 19 years old. I've done a lot of things since then. He made it very, very clear he wanted to talk about things he was doing now, not things he did 50 years ago. And sure enough, the first person, oh, when you were playing George McFly, dude, don't. Don't. I mean, what was it like to work with so-and-so? You know what? Here's what you do. If there's a certain guest that you want to meet, go on YouTube interviews with them. Let's say George Romero. What was it like to film Day of the Dead? You know what? I'm sure he's given that answer in a number of panels and a ton of Q&As before you asked him.
So what do you suggest to ask? Because now that we're on this topic, it's happened to me before that I'll go, when I met George Romero, actually, I didn't know what the hell to say to this man. I was so, like, I was excited and nervous and, like, just so, like, I didn't even know what to say.
Just say hello.
Yeah, it was nice to meet you and all that, but, I mean, you know, if you want to ask, like, I wanted to ask him something, but I was just, like, so, like, excited to meet him that I just couldn't, I don't know. I froze.
Well, I mean, here's a good example, and this is something this is how I get most of my celebrity stories. I mean, there's a guest you want to meet, you know, look up a bit of trivia about them, you know, stuff that they like to do. I mean, perfect example was John Astin. John Astin is a mixologist. A lot of people don't know that. So he and I had a good 15-minute conversation. I kept trying to walk away because I knew there was people behind me, but he was excited. He wanted to talk. He's like, "Oh my God, someone else is a bartender. Let's talk about this." And he signed my picture with the perfect way to sign a perfect way to stir a martini. You know, and it's like nobody else has that. So it's like, think about, you know, just maybe little-known projects that they've done, like indie films that they've done. Robert Englund is a good example. It's like when I went up to his table, he had all his pictures laid out from like Freddie and, you know, Strangeland and, you know, a couple things like that. But I was like, I wanted to know about the Tobe Hooper Dance of the Dead from Masters of Horror.
Right.
Yeah.
Which I thought was absolutely brilliant. He's like, wow, I never thought of that. He's like, I didn't think, and we talked about that for a few minutes. So think about their projects that may not be so well known, or just some of the things they like to do in their spare time. You know, and like I said, I mean, they will remember you first of all, and it will make your experience that much more memorable, and everything will be much more pleasant if you talk about something that's more interesting to them as opposed to asking the same question someone's asked like 50 times before you.
Great advice.
Yep.
Yeah, that's something. I've got stories about this year's guests, but I'm going to save that for another episode about things I've asked them that actually, and you may learn something, and that's the whole thing. You may learn that you have something in common because these people aren't just characters from a movie; they're actually people.
Right.
You know, and that's something that a lot of people tend to forget when they get starstruck. So I mean, so what are some of the better celebrity experiences you guys have had? You know, at Spooky.
You want to go first, Gordon?
No, you go first.
Well, I mean, I don't know. I mean, I've met several people. I think the encounters outside of the celebrity table are the most memorable for me.
Yeah. Like
I remember walking with I forget what the guy's name. I was looking for the promoter guy that works for a lot of celebrities over at Spooky. I forget his name. Anyway, Nick Castle needed to be with this guy, so I'm like looking for this guy all over the celebrity floor, and we walk out this door, and as soon as we walk out the door, is John Carpenter standing there smoking a cigarette.
Yeah.
First time he's seen Nick Castle in, you know, since forever, and then they hug and they have like this private moment. I was like dying inside, of course, but it was just like those moments I think are like the most memorable, that, you know, you're not meeting them, but you're experiencing them like as normal people.
Yeah, exactly. Like some of the best moments I had were like outside of the actual con, over at the pool party or something, when you run into a celebrity and have a real conversation with them. Like,
Well, give us an example.
Like when I was the year Joey Fatone was here.
Ah, Joey.
He ran into me in my clown costume.
Oh my
That was
God.
pretty funny. And then he actually wanted a picture with me. I didn't even recognize him at first. So I was like, I'll get one with you if you let me take one with my camera too.
Yeah, Joey needs to come back. Joey hasn't been an official guest of Spooky, but that actually brings up a really good point though. For a lot of people,
he was an official guest. Well, kinda. Him and Robert Englund did a movie together that they were promoting.
Incubus. Yeah,
Incubus,
I remember the screening of that, and it was not such a good movie, but.
I have low expectations.
Yeah, no, that's true. That's true. I mean, it's Joey Fatone, so I love him.
Yeah.
Don't get me wrong, but that's one of the things that you know, happens at this convention, is that there are a lot of celebrities that do live around Orlando, and this is one of the bigger horror conventions, so it's not uncommon to you know, have people that aren't on the guest list show up. You know, that's not an uncommon thing. So, I mean, you know, that's something to keep in mind. It's like, there's been, I mean, not even just Joey Fatone. I mean, David Arquette showed up one year, last minute surprise guest.
Yeah,
So,
Tom
I mean,
Savini's been there, not
Tom
as a guest, a
Savini.
few times. Yep.
Yeah,
What's his name? Vincent.
Alex Vincent.
Vincent.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah.
he comes as a guest.
Yeah, I know, but he lives in Tampa, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Tampa or Orlando, one of the two.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
So he's always like around.
Yeah, there's a number of, like I said, even if they're not on the guest list, between Orlando and Tampa and just, there's a lot of horror stars that live in this area, so
Mhm.
it's not uncommon that they'll come out and hang out. Joey Fatone was one of those. I mean, he's a huge horror fan, and just to be walking down the hall and seeing Joey Fatone, and I don't care what you think of NSYNC, Joey's awesome.
Yep.
Yeah, he is. I like him a lot.
Yeah, Joey's really, really awesome. All right, I think that was just about everything I covered. There's going to be other stuff that we're going to get into on the next one in a few days or whenever. But one of the things that when I talked to the organizers, they did want me to absolutely stress is they do really want to encourage costuming. We're going to do a whole entire episode on costuming because there's so many different aspects to cover. But this is Halloween weekend, so there's no reason that you shouldn't be dressing up in some fashion. Because, I mean, there's plenty of places around this hotel for photo ops. And there's going to be a ton of photographers all over. And, again, that's going to be another episode where we talk about photographer etiquette and all that business. But, like I said, it is Halloween weekend. Spooky is really pushing to have a lot of costume-oriented activities and events going on that weekend. So start thinking about your costumes now if you haven't already.
What are costumes?
Your face.
Your face is a costume, Boris.
Well, I mean, look at you. Look at what you've been doing all night. What have you been doing all night?
That's true.
Putting costumes.
You don't want to know. You can't see my hands.
Oh dear. Where are the
Playing with
salad
my
fingers?
spoon.
Yeah, I was gonna say, where are your salad fingers, huh? Wow, that's not phallic at all. Okay, yeah, these two are pretty much they're encouraging costuming by doing what they're doing. That's what we'll call it. Encouraging costuming.
Absolutely.
Oh my God, you weird people.
Where's the iPad?
It's a secret.
Hey!
I got an eye patch and a monocle.
Where's that at? Oh, wait a minute.
You gotta go to the.
I'm gonna go make sure these kids have no more sugar for the rest of the night. I have to cut their caffeine intake. Yeah, we're gonna be doing the next episode in a couple of days. Keep tuned to the my Facebook page, which you see right there. I can't even point right. Point. Yeah, Facebook.com/theconmother. We will be letting you know when the next one is going to be, and we're going to go let these two have some sugar and cake. I think is that what we're doing?
Sugar?
Yeah. This is getting ready for the costuming episode.
Yes.
Yes, me too. You're not invited.
And on that note, good night, everyone.